bonus level!
Hi, welcome back to Bonus Level with your host, Qate, Zach, and Carter. This is our last episode of our season, so we're gonna be back in there.
We joined a death cult, and we're all gonna commit suicide together.
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 And then we will resurrect ourselves and be back within 2 months. So be ready for that, I guess. But
yeah,
two people to podcast.
It's super painful because it's kind of like your insides. It's like you grow from the inside out. So it's like all our organs on the floor, and then some muscle tissue, nerve tissue. In fact, our nervous system is one of the first things to form. So we're just in constant pain throughout those few months that we're reforming.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so this is we'll still continue two people to podcast for the next few weeks. But this is it for bonus
some
level.
good things in store for you folks out there.
Yeah, we do actually, because we're gonna bring back bonus level as like a few different shows. Because we felt like this show is too general for everything.
Yeah, which is kind of the point, but like we feel like making you listen to a bunch of other things, and I think we've talked about this before, but a certain sciencey show is coming, which I am very excited about.
Yes. Yeah, so we'll have more updates. Check out our website. Check out our social media.
Or don't.
Yeah, and this is bonus
for normies.
This is bonus level, where we talk about the biggest news events of the internet webs. Okay, so we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about the Olympics, some Nvidia RTX stuff, some movies coming out, some new shows coming out. It's cool stuff. But let's get into it. So let's start. So the Olympics is happening right now. It is the 2020 Tokyo Olympic Games, and even though it is 2021, it is 2020 because they postponed it till this year. And it's going to last until August 8th. It's actually cool.
I will say, though, I don't know if they should have, because like the whole thing was like haven't they already found people that had COVID? And I know they're trying to like isolate people as best as possible, but now that the Delta variant is kind of rampant, like I'm just worried for people's health. I don't know if we should still continue this stuff now that just because we started doesn't mean that like we can't stop for the safety of people.
Nah, we gotta do it for entertainment. Well, they did plan it, or they did mean to, like, at the time coronavirus was kind of going back down, they didn't know that the Delta variant would happen. And right. I think that it's like remotely, like there's no actual physical audience. It's all like online and stuff. So yeah. really the only people are like the coaches and the participants and stuff and the judges, and they're probably living in their own like hotel that's isolated from everyone else, and they probably get like a COVID test daily. But it is funny because there's a rumor that so the contestants of the Olympics, they have to sleep, or I guess the athletes of the Olympics, they have to sleep on these cardboard beds, like the frames are cardboard. And people, well, it's supposed to be, I think obviously it's like they want to make them sleep on something uncomfortable, but there's a rumor that the reason that the frames are cardboard is so they can't have sex. Because it is kind of a problem of athletes, like Olympic athletes, like having sex with each other or something. So, so they think that the way to circumvent that is to make the beds cardboard so that it couldn't like handle the movement. I guess.
If you think you can stop two horny people from fucking, you are dead wrong, because we are humans and we have evolved to overcome anything. Do you think that we fucking even had cardboard beds like 2,000 plus years ago? We were probably like fucking our ape ancestors were, actually I think that we'd have to go farther back for that, but you get it. Our Neanderthal ancestors were probably fucking on cave floors or some shit. Which actually probably is not true. We probably the only reason that we think that they lived in caves is because that's the only surviving evidence, because caves are kind of protected from the outside world and weathering and stuff like that.
But can you blame them? Because like they are all in peak physical form. Like,
Dude, I would totally, if I was an Olympic athlete, like have an orgy with every single person there.
oh, that's so cool. Yeah, and then you beat them yesterday in like or tomorrow in the race or something,
Dude, if
and
everybody fucked each other, they wouldn't be mad about losing to each other because they know they could just have revenge sex and like say like, I'm better at sex than you or some shit. I don't fucking know.
yeah, what happens in the Olympic cardboard bed stays in the Olympic cardboard bed.
It,
Also, it is pretty interesting because it's kind of a total shit show just by the way that things are happening because there are it's a controversy and I'm not going to go much into it, but there have been contestants dropping out and stuff,
why?
and one of them one of them dropped out because she had like a really bad like breakdown or something and she was unable to participate, and she had competed in a few things and she was really good and stuff, but she wasn't able to go on and stuff, and people were like getting mad at her because they're like, but you're supposed to entertain us or you're weak or something like that, which is like, okay, like she's not
Are you
weak,
really
she could probably
criticizing
beat your
someone
ass.
based on their like I think, honestly, I'm proud of her because she knew that she knew her limit, she knew she couldn't handle it, and she was more uh she was more worried about her mental health than she was about what other people would think of her. And you know what? That's great because I think that people who criticize others because they try to take care of themselves are sad sacks of shit.
It was actually revealed like recently that the reason it that was because, or at least one of the reasons that was because like the day before she started the Olympics, like her grandma or something passed away, and we didn't even know till now. So people are just being douchebags about it. But also, just on a good note, there's a lot more trans athletes in the Olympics, which is
Wonder
great.
how they handle that. Like, do you know, like, do they put them in their respective, like, gendered
I think they
sport?
have like they do, but I think there's like a weight class thing, so it isn't to
Yeah,
like give anyone a physical advantage over anyone else.
that's good. That's good. I mean, I had like a similar thing where I do think that like if you regardless of what you identify with your like gender that you choose, if you're like born a male, then you usually have more you're more likely to have better physical attributes than a female and have more muscle mass. So I think that like that's kind of what I'm curious about because I know that there would be an unfair advantage if there's like trans females competing and then beating the crap out of like normal females, which is not to say that any of them are weak, but it's like I mean you get my point. So I my solution to that was like what if they did something where it's like or something that I thought of was actually, maybe this was my idea. I can't remember where I got this from, but it was like instead of having it be based on gender, it was based on like X chromosomes and Y chromosomes. So it's like, what isn't it like if you have XY chromosomes, then you're born a male, and then if you have two X chromosomes, you're born a female. So it's like if you have a Y chromosome, you're in one thing, and then X chromosome, you're in another.
Yeah,
That way, people
that
can
could be
still
a
do
way.
whatever
I
they
mean,
want.
it is definitely still a big question on how to do that stuff. But I'm just glad that trans people are getting more like representation and stuff. It makes people believe that it is okay to be trans, and it should
Yes.
be.
Yes, and
And
it
it's just
normalizes it, which is seriously not something I mean, at least for me, I really don't like people making such a huge deal out of stuff like that, and I feel like other people would feel the same. It's like they just wanna be seen as like a normal person trying to just do the best that they can.
yeah. Also, props to the like the people who like narrate everything because they were like doing a really good job like not misgendering anyone who's trans or anything.
Sure,
Which
sure.
I mean, it's a thing that you should do, like not misgender anyone. But I think it's just cool how they just talked about it like how they wanted to be, like
Yeah,
they were to the respective gender.
they respect it.
Um,
They
yeah,
respected them.
exactly. But that is all about the Olympics. Let's move on. So rapper Lil Uzi Vert is the first person to own a planet. So this comes from Grimes, Elon Musk's wife and musician Grimes. He owns the planet WASP 127b. Just some details about it. It is 1.4 times larger than Jupiter, and it is 520 light years away from Earth.
He does not own that planet because it is not anyone's to own. It is not even near us.
Yeah, I mean, I
That's like
just
trying to own a star. You can't fucking own a star. You can't own anything. You can't own shit. Like that's that honestly pisses me off because that's not yours to own. What if we go there some like million years from now and then it's like, oh, it's this person's planet? Like, fuck off. What you gonna say? Are you
I
gonna
mean,
say somebody owns the Earth? Like it just doesn't make any sense.
that's true. I think it's kind of more of a novelty thing because obviously, he'll never be able to go there in his lifetime. But it's just like a thing that's like, yeah. Also, here's something funny. Advisors have reportedly begged Jeff Bezos not to copy Elon Musk so much. So, so this comes
Why?
after, well, because I guess it's not cool. I guess because and it's mainly referring to the spaceship designs because like originally Jeff Bezos had another plan for his spaceships, but now he's basically following the same thing that Elon Musk is doing. So I guess he's just a poser.
A poser. Dude, I don't
Yeah.
know, man. The thing is, so yeah, I guess like I mean it is kind of lame. I don't care really either way if he copies him or not because I'm sure that he's just using his design because it probably works better than the one that he had before. So I don't think he's copying it necessarily to copy him. But I think that people probably are just not going to like Jeff Bezos as much anyways, so they'll probably just assume he's copying him and assume the worst anyways because of
Yeah,
Bezos'
because like
reputation.
on the scale of like how cool billionaires are, Jeff Bezos is pretty low. And also something cool is he's not the richest guy on the world anymore. So his net worth dropped like $13 billion because like I guess stock went down on Amazon because they were refused a
Well,
contract with
net
NASA.
worth isn't
So
actually how much money you have though.
yeah, it's like what is imaginary money basically.
Well, I don't know exactly what it is to be honest with you. I don't want to act like I do, but I do know that it isn't actually how much money you have.
Well, it's like if you like it's how much money you could own if you were to sell all of your assets. So really, he does have that money, but I imagine it would be incredibly difficult to sell all of those assets, like the billions of dollars he has in
Not that he'd
Amazon
want
stock.
to, right?
Yeah, yeah. Not that he would want to, but if he wanted to.
Yeah.
Um,
I
okay,
don't even know
so
why we entertain billionaires, to be honest with you. It kind of pisses me off that they have to exist in the first place because nobody needs that much money. Like that money could go to so many good things, and it's like all being wasted on one person for no reason.
yeah, that's true. But that's a conversation we could get into on our new show, Qate and Zach Eat the Rich.
Eat them. No, I would say if anybody's good about it, I mean, I could be wrong because I don't. I would say I'm far from educated on the topic of Elon Musk, or would ever be an authority to say anything factually correct in the matter other than my opinion. But my opinion is that Elon Musk does better because he actually does things that will benefit humanity at some point, and are just good for humanity in general, as opposed to Jeff Bezos who built a rocket to launch himself in space because he thought it was cool and treats his employees like shit? Okay.
Yeah. Um. Oh yeah. Do you want to talk about the ChrisChan situation?
Do you really want to? Do you think that's
Yeah,
appropriate?
let's go ahead. Oh
Okay.
yeah. I mean, it's the last
So
episode. Let's go with a bang.
yeah, yeah, literally. um, so noted, uh, internet culture icon Chris Chan, Christine Weston Chandler, the proprietor of, if that's the right word, of Quickfill, the creator of the Sonichu multiverse. He she, excuse me. She so you might know her from past internet happenings. And so basically, uh, yeah, oof. So her mother, who she lives with, was diagnosed with, what was it, dementia? A few, like a little bit ago. I don't know what the time frame is, but it was a while ago. Um, and so, so this this beautiful person, Christine Weston Chandler, took it upon herself to satisfy her mother's needs, in the only way that she thought that she could. And oh boy. So let's just say that now she's arrested for incest. And we're pretty sure that it's the big ol' R word that's 4 letters long and isn't fun. Um and we're pretty certain that's the case because I don't think anybody with dementia could consent just as much as anybody who's intoxicated or under the influence of any drugs or alcohol couldn't consent. So, I mean, even like I listened to this like 10 minute, what the fuck, 10 minute like audio thing of like this person getting Chris to like confess. And so Christine or whatever the fuck her name was again, basically was like, "Oh, so we're in a loving relationship, and we can still be mother and daughter, but uh, so I basically came to her, and we were both really. I came up to her and I proposed to her, and she was kind of reluctant at first, but then she liked it." And it's like, so basically, what she meant was that she tried to rape her mom over and over again until the
Mm.
mom was okay with it. And then said that it was love. And it's like, oh my god, that is so wrong on so many levels. Oh my god. But
Yeah.
what do you think about this, Zachary?
I think that this is as messed up gets. Like,
Do you
uh,
do you think that this is do you think there's anybody more fitting of the title of mom raper than Christine Weston Chandler?
that's a pretty big statement. But yeah, I would agree because like this is such a ChrisChan thing to do. And it's like it's funny seeing the memes about it because the memes are like, "Oh, like ChrisChan, I haven't heard of them in a while. I wonder like why are they trending?" And then it's like, "Oh gosh, ChrisChan did what?"
So so I actually stumbled upon this from like a meme, which is exactly what you were basically saying. And it was the same process. So I was looking at a meme and it was like, "I heard your boyfriend free mother," and it was like some guy wearing a Chris Chan necklace or whatever, or like a Sonichu necklace. I look in the fucking comments
Yeah.
and then I'm like, "Oh no, please don't tell me what I think." And then and then I looked through it and I was like, "Oh god." So then I think this is like some like trolling or some shit. Like I don't think it's real. But then I look up like the exact audio clip. It's 10 minutes long. It's like, yep, yep, she confessed to literally everything, and it's so stupid because it's like, first you do it, and then you confess to a random ass person just because they confirm, like just because they say, yeah, yeah, that makes sense. It's so dumb.
I don't think that Christian had any idea of what the consequences could be.
No, I
Um,
don't think so either. And apparently, I didn't think anything was going to come of it. I mean, of course it happened because he admitted it, or she admitted to it. But at the same time, I didn't think anything was going to be done about it. To be completely honest with you,
I'm
um,
glad I did though. Like, to
yeah. But then I saw a video, a few days later, and it was somebody recording Jan being arrested by the police. Now
he was
I
at a
don't know.
hotel. Is he
Yeah.
like not
So
living at home, or is she not
yeah,
living at home?
I guess not. I don't know. I honestly don't know. But it was interesting. Because even then we didn't even know why she was arrested. So like it could have been for anything. But then today I found that the picture of so basically there's like this like somebody had found like a picture of like the form or like the document online that had detailed ChrisChan's arrest and posted it. And so I sent it to Zach right before we started recording. So yep, the details of the arrest. And I can actually read it. Where the hell is my phone? Do you have your phone next to you?
I do. I'll look at it.
Yeah, because I can't fucking find my phone.
Okay, so it says inmate detail. It's the page for it. It shows a picture of Christine Weston Chandler or ChrisChan. It said their booking date was 2 days ago. 3 days by the time you're listening to this. And it says that the reason. Okay, wait. Their bond amount is $0, meaning that you can't pay anything to get them out of jail before the court date, which is actually usually a really bad sign because it means that they did something so atrocious that like it's just impossible to get them out of jail. And the charge description is incest with own child or grandchild.
Dude,
Obviously that's not what ChrisChan did,
but it's
but
so messed up that it's not even listed in the
yeah,
fucking system. They can't even
it's
put it in
probably
there.
something that's unprecedented. That's never really they never had to really deal with it, and it's
Your
like
own
it,
mom.
I see it as like two layers of messed up. For one, she raped her own mom, which is messed up. But second of all, her mom had dementia, and it's like,
Dementia Morty. Sorry,
yeah, it's just
nobody's gonna fucking get that. It's fucking from 2 years ago. It was, you know what
okay.
I'm talking about? I honestly now I don't want to be a fool. You know that fucking it was like the Rick and Morty episode, but it wasn't actually a Rick and Morty episode. It's like an Australian ripoff.
Yeah, I remember that was so funny. Um,
Anyways,
yeah. Anyways, that ends the ballad of ChrisChan,
actually,
and
we don't know. Okay, actually,
next ChrisChan
here's the
escapes
thing.
from jail.
Yeah, no, here's the thing though. I just thought of this now. So this is in Virginia apparently. So ChrisChan lives in Virginia. Now, let's look up how usually like what the sentence is for incest charges in Virginia. Because then we can see when ChrisChan is going to be let out. Then we could see that
Okay,
maybe the ballot of
incest
ChrisChan hasn't been
charges.
ended. Are you looking at
Virginia.
okay, good. I don't in Virginia, yeah.
Yo, has my mic been
Uh,
muted this whole time?
Oh
oh
yes,
yeah, it
no, it
has.
was. Oh my god, it was so crazy,
Oh
dude.
man.
Like we totally thought you weren't here, but apparently you were like the whole time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
okay,
was.
so under Virginia law, incest is a class 5 felony and carries a term of imprisonment of not less than 1 year nor more than 10 years.
Okay, so it's like we'll still get a good amount of fun out of them.
But you're forgetting that this is also rape. So,
Oh, like look up what rape charges are.
okay.
Oh.
Do they stack? Do they stack for like the
I
same
don't
thing?
know.
Yeah, they do. I
Incest
think
for
because I know they read them
it's a
like
minimum of 5 years, maximum of life imprisonment.
oh my god. Oh,
Oh.
okay, so it kind of depends though, right, on the severity of the situation. I'm pretty sure that's
True,
like severe.
because to be fair, ChrisChan did get arrested on incest, not rape. So
Well, they might charge him with rape after they interrogate him, because they'll probably interrogate him to try to get more information out of him. And knowing how thin of a filter ChrisChan has, he's gonna give them the information they want in like
he's gonna get
15
arrested for
seconds.
or she's gonna get arrested for so many things.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like animal murder or something and other stuff.
Bestiality. It's funny how you can't get arrested for killing animals, but you can get arrested for having sex with them. That's actually kind of funny. But
Well, wait,
Yeah,
when
it
I
is.
hear something funny, just as a thing, as I was wondering, I was like, huh, incest has a reputation, or not incest. Alabama has a reputation for incest. I wonder how long you could get arrested for incest there in Alabama. Turns out there is no conviction of
my God,
incest in Alabama.
Chris,
That's why.
Chris, you should have moved to Alabama when you had the chance.
Well, but he also or she also raped her. So
Yeah. Okay. So they probably do. So here's the thing, though. Whenever it comes to the court date, which I pray to Allah that they have like some sort of tape of it. I really 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 want to see the hearing. But what I'm thinking what they'll do is they'll probably charge her um with rape and with incest.
incest, yeah,
Yeah, and then they'll probably I think that is how it works because then they'll just add the sentences together where it's like you get charged like what would you say was
yeah.
like a
It'll be
year for
different cases
incest and
though.
then like 5 to 10 years for rape or
Yeah,
5 to life and it was like 1 to 10 for incest.
I thought you
Christian's
said
reaction
they.
will be like, "Oh, go ahead."
I thought you were gonna say that you wanted to see something else.
Oh yeah, like the tape of them. Oh no,
No. Oh my god, no. Okay, so wait.
Chris.
Another thing is like do you think that ChrisChan is going to get life in prison for this?
I don't think so, but I do think it's gonna be like at least over 10 years.
10 years, huh? Man, I could Chris is gonna be like making sonitude drawings and like selling it to the prison.
She's gonna be so many people's bitches in prison.
Yeah,
She'll be
he's
like,
gonna be
"Don't hurt
prison
me."
life.
I can just imagine ChrisChan being like you are guilty of 20 years in prison, and then ChrisChan will be like, I can't go to prison. I gotta finish my Sonic Chew comic.
No, you can do that. They probably have a workshop for that in prison. But here's the thing:
Yeah.
I'm wondering, and this isn't like I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just honestly curious. So, is Chris Chan going to male prison or female prison?
Uh, I
Yes.
don't know. That's a weird. Yeah. Let
And
me
like
actually look that up. Okay, wait.
maybe it depends on if you're taking hormones because I don't know if Chris Chan.
I mean, there are some prisons that are like mixed.
Okay, wait. So it says that trans women are still incarcerated with men. So I don't know. That's probably a touchy subject. At least in like what state is it in? Virginia?
Yeah.
Transgender prison.
Imprisonment.
She is Virginia's only no transgender person in prison.
Wait, really?
Okay, wait.
Good job.
So I think there's only one. Apparently, there's only one. At least of 2019, there's only one trans woman who's in a female prison. So I don't know what ChrisChan might be in a male prison, which would be really bad for her because I feel like she would definitely not be able to defend herself.
Well, I guess so. Yeah, but I mean, you're also assuming the worst. Like they're like people would
Well, it
actually
says that trans
want
women are
to.
like 6 times more likely to get raped in a male prison.
Okay, but like, have you seen? I don't. Again, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but I'm just looking from like the prisoner's point of view, from these people that are awful enough to rape in the first place. Have you seen Chris Chan?
ChrisChan isn't a very appealing person at all. Like attractiveness.
It's like it's not even like to male or female because obviously you know me, but that's just the yeah. It's just
No,
no.
just ChrisChan, just yeah. Especially like the reputation of ChrisChan, like that would just, especially like wait, but ChrisChan may be like beat up because like after hearing that you raped your own mom who had dementia, like that does not sit well in prison.
What are you in here for? I killed my two brothers. What are you in here for? I killed an elementary school child. What are you in here for? I raped my own mother.
Okay, let's go ahead and move on because Carter's a little confused, and I don't blame him.
Carter,
The
do you
ballad,
know?
Very.
You know that? Do you
the
know?
ballad of ChrisChan is complex, and I don't feel like we should get in. Maybe we could have our own episode about that, but that's besides
we
the
get it
point.
we could have a 2-pep episode about ChrisChan.
That might be a waste of time, but who knows?
No,
Okay,
actually, that's I think that might be something for like maybe maybe we should have like a bonus level dedicated specifically to ChrisChan because it seems more of like an internet thing than like a media thing.
yeah, true.
Yeah.
But let's move on to technology. So, at the Game Developers Conference, Nvidia announced it would be adding RTX support to ARM processors. I know this is like a huge departure, but that basically means that they showed a Chromebook with a RTX 3060 graphics card, which is pretty cool because Chromebooks are really underpowered devices, and it's likely to be in Chromebooks starting next year. And speaking of NVIDIA RTX, the 40 series is going to have 5 nanometer GPUs. But yes, okay, and which is really cool and it's good and it's going to improve performance. But it also shows that these 40 series GPUs could consume anywhere from 400 watts to 500 watts, which is a lot considering the 3090 had like 350 watt consumption. And that's also kind of bad because California has been continuously cracking down on like how much electricity something can supply. Like I know that Dell's in a lot of hot water recently because their laptops are consuming too much power, so they're not allowed in California. Yeah. But anyway, this is built on a 5 nanometer node instead of the last generation's 8 nanometer, and it's going to arrive in late 2022 or early 2023, and it's going to have almost double the amount of CUDA cores. And it's going to offer a 2.5x improvement. So if you thought the 3090 or 30 series was a huge improvement over the 20 or 10 series, then this is going to be way bigger. But then we're going to also have the issue of crypto miners. So we'll see how that goes along, especially with the huge power consumption.
No,
and
they really do need to figure out like a system for customers to be ordering this stuff. Because I want.
Oh, for real. Crypto mining is becoming really bad lately, at least for the environment.
Mm-hmm.
Also, this next thing is really cool. Yeah. Okay, so this is called the TCL Nextwear G glasses. Oh wait, you said you have a question? Sorry.
You're just like, yeah.
Total Chad move. No, I thought you said something like yeah, and I was like yeah. Okay, go ahead and ask your question.
Yeah.
Let's move right along.
So, is the reason that they have a bad effect on the environment because people are like leaving their computers on and it's consuming a lot of power?
Yes.
Okay, I was just wondering.
Yeah, okay. TCL Nextwear G glasses. It has a stupid name, and it's not available in the U.S. But TV manufacturer TCL has released glasses that can turn any display or any kind of device that has a display and it features a DisplayPort compatible USB-C port. It can turn it into a 140-inch wearable screen. So it's like these glasses you put on. They're not that thick either. They're 130 grams, and it isn't wireless. It does have a wire at the back of it, but still, it turns like any kind of screen thing into a way bigger screen through these glasses. So it costs 600.
So cool. Can they do that with like the Switch?
Probably, yeah.
Wait. So wait. So does that mean is it kind of like augmented reality? Like, can you see? Is it like a hologram in your view? Like, is it like this giant screen in front of you that like moves?
It's something like that, but it's like it's kind of less complex. Like, it isn't like fully augmented reality, but it does create a giant display. To here, it works really well. It costs $600. It has 2 screens, one for each eye, and they are 1080p at 60 hertz. It is micro OLED, so you know you're gonna have really good picture quality. And yeah, I can send you guys a video over it if you want to see it later. But
yeah,
it's just
that sounds really cool. I would want one of those. That sounds like something that would be super useful.
Yeah, for real. Okay, let's move on to movies. So, movies that have released recently: Boss Baby 2. You know the movie we've all been waiting for. Old, which is the latest M. Night Shyamalan fan. I have seen it, and I also have seen
You
The
watched it
Green Knight.
without me.
I'm sorry, The Green Knight.
Carter, have you seen The Green Knight?
No.
Dude,
I saw
Carter,
it.
don't be sad. I haven't seen either of those. We should, all 3 of us, watch Old and The Green Knight when we get back to college.
I would definitely be down for that. The Green Knight, it's a really good slow-paced fantasy film, and like it has a really killer soundtrack. It's basically I told Kate about this, but I haven't told you about this, Carter. So it's basically like, imagine you're watching a film that's about Skyrim, and it's just somebody. They have a main quest, but they also have side quests that they do throughout the film. That's basically this.
You're watching a Let's Play of Skyrim.
Yeah, basically, but it's way more interesting and like higher production quality.
Yeah, I would
Also,
watch it even if it wasn't like, even if it was literally just someone playing Skyrim.
yeah, Suicide Squad, the new Suicide Squad movie is coming out in 2 days.
Hey,
Yeah, I'm really excited for that. It's going to be on HBO Max, but it's also going to be in theaters. So go ahead and watch
2
it.
days.
Yeah, 2 days. It's
Oh, yeah,
Thursday
it's
is the night it's premiering.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
forgot it was still Tuesday.
And then we got a trailer for Jackass Forever, which is the last Jackass film. Personally, that was like my childhood, and I'm glad that they're making another movie. And then we got
any of those movies.
They're so good. But if you can handle it. The one thing that stuck with me is like them giving themselves paper cuts in between their toe webs. That was horrendous. And then we got a trailer.
I never watched any.
It'll make you throw up.
I want to watch it now.
Okay, yeah, let's do it. And then we got a trailer for the new Dexter limited series that's coming out, which I know Kate and I are big fans of Dexter. So this is going to be super interesting. And then we got a report of a new Batgirl film in the works, or just a Batgirl film in the works. So I'm assuming it's going to take. Yeah, it's going to take place in the Ben Affleck universe, since it will feature J.K. Simmons as Commissioner Gordon, and he was Commissioner Gordon in the last Batman movie.
Wait a minute, J.K. Why? I mean, I guess I like J.K. Simmons. I think he's awesome, but like, I don't know, man. I see him more as like he's more like a J. Jonah Jameson to me than Commissioner Gordon.
That is all he is, pretty much. He's James in like every incarnation there is.
For real though, actress Leslie Grace will play Batgirl. She was in The Heights. The film will be directed by, I'm gonna butcher these names, Adil El Arbi and Bill Falla, who have recently directed the Bad Boys for Life film, and it is expected to release next year. And also on the same DC side of things, Michael B. Jordan is developing a Black Superman project for HBO Max. So, according to reports,
go ahead. I just want to say one thing, or not one thing, but I want to say my expectations are for Batgirl is please don't make it about her being a woman or anything about that. Just have her be a fucking badass and have her be a woman as like, yes, she's a girl, but that's not all that she is, like she actually it's not like whenever they do a Batman film, they don't talk about the fact that he's a guy the entire time. They just have him do badass shit and have a plot to work for. I want them to have a cool ass plot that they have. I want it to be something. Maybe this is too high of an expectation, but I want it to be something similar to the comics, or how some of the comics were that I've read of Batman, where it's like a whole clue thing, where it's like you're trying to find certain clues, or maybe it could be similar to like the trailers we've seen with who's the guy that played Edward in Twilight that is playing the new Batman?
Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, I want it to be something similar to that, where it's just like one lone superhero vigilante against like unwinnable odds, and it's like genuinely like fun and actiony, and it has nothing to do with like it's not like girl power or whatever. Like they don't make it obnoxious like that.
Well, the movie that these directors have, I guess, directed, Bad Boys for Life, it was pretty action oriented, and the writer of this film is the same writer who did that that one film with what's her name, Harley Quinn, the Birds of Prey film. And
awesome.
Yeah, exactly. So I have pretty good hopes for this film.
I can't wait till they make a second one, because Birds of Prey was so freaking good.
It really was.
Have you seen Birds of Prey, Carter?
No, I just said I haven't watched it.
Oh,
no, yes, you have. We watched it together. I remember.
Oh,
we didn't.
Yes, we did.
When was this?
Yeah, I don't.
During college.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I think I watched it with Carter first, and then I watched it with you.
Was it what? Did we watch it on HBO, like on the Xbox?
Yeah.
I fell asleep like 5 minutes into the movie.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, that's
we
why I don't remember.
totally. I would totally be down with rewatching that movie. It was a really good movie.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And then
During the day this time.
Yes. So this Michael B. Jordan project, it'll be made by him and his production company, and it'll be a limited series for HBO Max, so not a movie. Instead of focusing on Clark Kent, it will focus on Val Zod, who in the comics took the mantle of Superman in an alternative universe. So
I remember that. I mean, I don't remember how he got his powers though. I hope that they actually make it interesting and like focus on like the psychological aspects of it rather than it just be, "Oh, I have superpowers. I'm strong."
well, in the
Okay.
comics, it's like, and I think it's instead of like Superman being sent away in that capsule, from his own planet to Earth, I think it's this dude, and it's basically like it's him
Well-
instead.
Well, they both were. That they're both Kryptonians. They both get the power from the sun. Just that Superman beats Zod like 90% of the time.
Wow. And then there's a new Jordan Peele film called Nope that's coming out. So horror film director Jordan Peele revealed that he has a new film coming out called Nope. If you didn't know, Jordan Peele is the guy who directed Get Out and Us, both great films. The cast will feature Daniel Kaluuya, who is the main character in Get Out, Stephen Ewan, who played Glenn in
And
The
that
Walking
was
Dead.
fucking scary. I mean, it was so weird. I think we watched it
Yeah.
together, Zach, and like I think most horror films I enjoy, but I don't like I enjoy them. Like none of them really scare me. But fucking Get Out was creepy as hell because I mean the whole premise is like that like a bunch of white people are like and we crave your body and it's just super creepy.
Yeah. It's a good film though, so I'm excited for this. Also, I really liked Us. It is gonna release on July 22nd, 2022. And we don't really have any details about the plot, but on the poster it basically showed like this giant cloud over a city. And that's basically it. So I don't know. Oh yeah, also Scarlett Johansson, who plays Black Widow in Marvel, is suing Disney.
Yeah.
So Disney is Marvel's parent company, and the reason she is suing them is because they promised her a portion of the film's proceeds in her contract, like that came from theater viewings and stuff. However, Disney decided to show Black Widows in theaters and on Disney Plus, which in return would make people be like, "Oh, we don't have to go to theaters to see Black Widow. We could just watch it on Disney Plus." So basically, it meant that she isn't getting paid as much as she would have if Black Widow had just been in theaters.
Yeah,
So
and for you people out there that say like, "Oh, well, what does it matter? She probably has enough money anyways." Dude, you don't realize how hard it is to make money as an actor or actress. I mean, your job is honestly like the definition of inconsistency. So you don't know when your next job is going to be. And
yeah,
come on, it's Disney. They have plenty of money. Plenty. They have plenty of money comparatively. I think that it's like yeah, I mean, it seems pretty obvious to me that they intentionally did that.
yeah, and their response to this was, they said, it was especially sad and distressing in this callous disregard for horrific and prolonged global response of the COVID pandemic. Basically, being like they're trying to use COVID as a scapegoat for. They're trying to be like, yeah, they're trying to be like, COVID's happening. How dare you
If
be
you
so
were
selfish?
so worried about COVID, you wouldn't show it in theaters to begin with, you fucking dipshit. And guess what?
Yeah.
You can change you can fucking make the contract better. You can make the contract so that she gets proceeds from both things. That's just fucking
Yeah.
you know what you were fucking doing, you little bitch.
Yeah, and keep in mind, Blackwood was supposed to come out like a year or two ago, and so they did make the contract like way before the pandemic had hit and stuff. But still, they should still honor the contract. Yeah, because maybe she didn't even have an incentive to come on the movie unless she was getting paid from the movie itself, like a portion of it. But by doing this, it's like, basically screwing her out of money. And for our last movie thing, I have really, really saddening news. So, Thea White, the voice of Muriel Bag in Courage the Cowardly Dog, has passed away at the age of 81.
No.
So, she was my childhood, and it is very unfortunate to see her go. So she died after a complication with surgery for her liver cancer.
At least
So
she gets to meet the guy that played the old dude.
yeah, but it's
Mostly.
it's sad, dude.
Yeah. That is
I
so
didn't
sad.
for real. She didn't even become a voice actor until she was like really old. She had been like I think she had been like a vet or something. I don't know, something like that, or a librarian also maybe.
That's
So
nice.
she was just
Maybe.
a woman of many talents. And it is very unfortunate to see her go. And I hope she is having a great heavenly life with Courage and Eustace and whatever else is happening. Okay, so let's move into games. So,
Dead silence.
yeah, there's a Deadspace remake happening. It was revealed at EA's gaming conference, and it looks pretty cool. Also, Amazon's New World MMO is destroying graphics cards. So there have been reports of Nvidia RTX graphic cards being bricked by this game that Amazon made. So specifically, RTX 3090s are facing this, and you know what those are, Carter. But if you didn't know what those are, Qate, those are basically the highest end graphic cards you could possibly buy. They sell for like 1,500, I think, right? But they're probably
yeah,
more.
like really expensive.
Are people
Yeah.
getting refunds?
Let me get into it. So
Or
more
compensation?
specifically, EVGA GeForce RTX 3090 FTW3 Ultra, which is a long name, graphic cards are being affected. And at first, no one knew why this was happening. Like these really powerful graphics cards that should be able to handle this game are just absolutely getting destroyed by this game, and no one knew why this was happening. But eventually, upon testing out and stuff, like testing it out, it was revealed that the graphics cards, upon playing this game, attempt to spin at 200,000 RPM, 200,000, and
Mhm.
they like it. That's impossible. But they try anyway. They try to reach it because they're like, I don't know if it's the game or the graphics card. Like I don't know. Like, are you able to program in games specific things like that, Carter? Do you know?
Kind of. You can, um, depending on the maker. Like I guess EVGA will allow, um, I guess custom like settings for their graphics cards based on what game you're playing, which does make sense for some stuff. But like someone really messed up on Amazon. Now they owe like a lot of money.
So, somebody put a lot of zeros on that code or something. They just fell asleep at the keyboard. Well, okay. What's the typical RPM of fans?
It
Like,
depends. I think mine usually runs out at 500 RPM.
so 500, and then this thing tried to do 200,000, which is like tons higher.
I wonder if that actually was physically possible in real life. Like what that would I want to know what the implications of that would be like if it would have any impact on the world whatsoever.
It would blow up and kill everyone. I don't
Straight
know.
up black hole.
Yes, it goes so fast. But Amazon hasn't said anything yet, which is like they should. But EVGA, I cannot say that, sorry, is replacing graphics cards for free, which is great. But I feel like this is more of Amazon's problem. And they're
Can
not
I
doing
say
anything.
can I say I had
Yeah.
one or buy one of the broken ones and just get a free one?
Yeah, sure. That's pretty cool.
So yeah, so a lot of graphics cards like run at 500 RPM, maybe like a little bit more at like idle temperatures, and go up like 2,000 at like max RPM.
Yeah, so literally like 100 times increase. Yeah, okay. And that's all for the gaming news, but then we have the crime scene. Okay, so 60-year-old Mark Herring died in a swatting accident. He refused to give up his Twitter handle, which is at Tennessee, like the state. And he had this Twitter handle since 2008. And but this stupid fucking teenager wanted this username so badly that he resorted to harassing him and his family online. And he also did things like unwanted pizza deliveries, false fire reports. And it was actually revealed that this teenager belonged to like a group of I guess a group of like trollers on Twitter who would like harass people to give them cool usernames like this guy had. And regardless, Mark Herring stood strong and he did not refuse to give up the username. But this caused the teenager to call the police and report that a woman had been murdered at his house. And whenever police had arrived, Mark was unaware of the situation, and there was just a lot of stuff going on, so he came out with his gun. But he wasn't shot or anything by the police. He threw down his gun, but he did die from a heart attack then and there.
Oh my god. That teenager,
And-
oh my god. And just like that, he made a dumb decision that ruined his entire life. Good job.
No,
Well,
you know what's
congrats
bullshit?
yourself.
You know what's bullshit? The teenager was only sentenced to 5 years in prison.
Bullshit. That guy
Oh.
is so fucking dumb. You know, the only reason that they're doing that is because his fucking brain isn't even done developing. What is it? His prefrontal cortex? I don't want to sound like an idiot, but I'm pretty sure that's not done developing until you're like 25. God fucking
Yeah.
damn.
Well,
It's so dumb
so-
because you fucking see. This is why you see people don't understand the repercussions of giving tools like this to people that aren't old enough to understand that their actions have consequences. This is why I don't think that people, especially kids, should even have access to social media until they're like an adult. To be honest with you,
They're not supposed to. I'm pretty sure you're supposed to be like 16.
right?
Like, a
But they
lot
do
of
it
them.
anyways, and it's not like anybody checks.
Yeah. Well, so this teenager was a few months away from being an adult when this happened. So they might have been charged as a teenager. So if they were possibly charged as an adult, they probably would have had a longer sentence.
I mean,
But,
if it was first-degree murder, then you can be tried as an adult, but I guess since it technically wasn't. Although, I mean, I don't know what. I mean, I think that there was an entire. I think there would be an intention. Like, there was, like. He knew that guy would have gotten murdered. The only reason I don't think that is because, like I said, he's still technically a kid. But, I mean, I'm not even that much older than he is, and I would still be able to understand the implications of literally calling the police and saying and reporting that there's been a murder at some guy's house. Because that, I mean, you know what their training is? It's like, there's a really
yeah,
high
shoot whoever
likelihood-
has a gun or something.
Yeah,
Like,
which, I mean, I get that. Okay, fine. Let's say like that we're not going to question that. That already you're putting somebody's life in danger by implicating that or by dragging them into an implication like that or implying that they are that they committed something as heinous as that. So, like, how did he not expect that guy to not die from that situation, you know?
yeah. It is an awful situation, and just so you know, never ever call in police to somebody's house for any reason, unless they're going through an actual accident.
Yeah, I don't think anybody that listens to this is that stupid that they would think that that was an okay thing to do. I mean,
We're calling you
Yeah.
all stupid.
yeah,
Our listeners are the smartest listeners ever.
yeah,
They would
totally.
never do that. They're so smart.
But literally, like, I mean, you shouldn't have to tell people this, but don't fucking harass people online.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we don't have like a face to our words and stuff, so it's really easy to harass somebody without like thinking
You
of the
see?
consequences.
Yeah, that's the time that you really see what kind of person what kind of person somebody is, which is ironic considering they're wearing a mask. So, I mean, just look at what kind of person that this teenager is. He saw no consequences to his actions, therefore thought it was entirely fine for him to ruin people's lives, regardless of whether or not they got killed. Harassing him
Yeah.
for him having a certain username is disgusting.
Yes.
You know what?
And
He didn't
What?
even get the username.
he didn't even get the username. Yep,
Good.
you're right.
Fuck him, dude. I hope he never gets that username. I hope that Twitter is like super respectful and like make sure that account is like never expired, so nobody thinks.
After he gets out of prison, Twitter's just gonna be like, he cannot have any username that has any of the letters from Tennessee in it. So he's out of TENS.
Most
Yes.
vowels.
Yeah. And with that really, really bad note, that is where we end the show for this season.
You know, we probably should have put the ChrisChan part in this part anyways, but oh well.
Yes. So do you guys have any last words?
Go to ooh.
Okay.
That needs to be Carter, that needs to be your last words ever.
Ever, yeah.
I had a great time recording with you guys, and I'm very excited for the future because we can only improve, and I'm really excited as to where we're headed.
Me too.
Ooh.
And I appreciate our audience for listening to us, even though,
Yes, thank you so much.
even though 1/3 of us are idiots.
Yes. Well, actually, like 2/3. Carter is not the only non-idiot.
I'm the most idiotic of all of you.
Oh, great! So now we're just a whole.
We're just all idiots.
We've become 1 out of 1.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Carter, Qate, and I are signing off. Bye.
See you.
Bye.
This podcast is an Anna Podcast Network production. For more like this, check out Two People in a Podcast on Spotify or wherever you listen to your podcast.